This one's from Tyler Vidito. Glad he's back. Here's my question. How do I find the motivation to stick to a diet? I have a crazy life with kids and work, and none of my friends have any fitness goals like I do. How can I get inspired to stay consistent? Well, get rid of your friends and kids.
Well, you just said that you're inspired for this fitness lifestyle, so the question doesn't make sense. How do you stay on a diet and shit? You just told me you're inspired for the fitness lifestyle, so what's the problem with eating healthy and eating clean and having kids? I don't get the correlation here. Why is he having a hard time? What's his excuse?
I can relate to it in that, during my life I've been busier and whatever, and it's just hard to juggle it all. And
yeah, it just takes a little planning, sure, because if you get busy, it's easier to grab shit food, or it's easier to get the kids McDonald's and go, oh, I'll have a little bite of that as well. So it just comes down to planning and how bad you want it. Even there's so many healthy frozen meals you can get now already made, or just buy a whole heap of mince and cook it up with some sort of sauce and some pasta and rice and put it in Tupperware containers and keep it in your fridge. That'll last you probably 4 days. So it's easy just to heat up. Because if things are convenient like that and heat them up, you won't go off your diet. It's when you got to come home and you go, oh fuck, I've got to prepare a whole meal. Then you're like, yeah. So if you can keep things done, have rice already cooked up for a couple of days in the fridge, and just have things like mince is always easier to cook. Even if worse comes to worse, fucking scrambled eggs. It's a good protein source at night time. You'd have scrambled eggs, throw some tomato in it and a little bit of cheese if you want. So there's all options you can have there, so there should be no excuse really.
Well, my advice would be...
get rid of the family.
No, but just when you... I reckon a big mistake that you see a lot of people do is they go from one extreme to the other.
Too strict. Oh.
And I think the best way to do it is just swap out stuff.
Yeah. That's all I used to do. It's like I said, I don't even like to call it a diet.
Yeah.
You just say sensible eating.
Yeah.
Anything in moderation. Eating healthy, because that way, if you do get a little craving and you want a little bit of chocolate, have it.
Yeah.
You're not having it every day, but just have a little bit. Yeah, but like I said, people go to that far extreme where it's just like the food's so bland and shit. They're like, oh, I hate this, and it's so done that they last a couple of weeks and then, fuck this. Off the McDonald's they go and they put on more weight than when they started. Yeah, like I said, it's just a matter of sensible eating clean, and like you said, just different things, swap them out. You know something's bad. Like there's so many, I like potato chips, but if I crave them now, I'll try and buy those healthier ones. You can buy the healthier vegetable type chips and that. They're still not the greatest, but if you want something, have it. Or
you know what I'd get? Just make popcorn.
Yeah, I got that at home too now. Yeah,
and get the because it's organic corn and you put
we actually got one of those proper poppers, the plastic ones with the thing inside like that. Yeah, so I just buy the bag corn. If I'm on a weekend and I feel bad, I'll already get the one you can buy in the bag that has a bit of salt in it.
Oh,
the sweet and salty one.
Their,
chemicals.
No, but I think it's...
Hey mate, I've had the vaccine. I don't care about popcorn. Okay. But you just said homemade popcorn is one of the easiest. You can put a little bit of salt on it if you want and stuff, but yeah.
Well, one of my favourites is that I hadn't had them for years, and we were trying to get my son to eat healthy, and the kids to eat healthy at breakfast, and got oats.
Oh.
And oats with protein powder in it and some fruit.
Nice.
Like that.
Every morning that's what I have for breakfast. Because to me, I like natural honey in that too, as a sweetener. So I just have oatmeal in the morning. I drizzle a little bit of honey over it, and then I put in a handful of blueberries or something, or a banana. And that's what I have for breakfast. I normally have that, then a bowl of low-fat, lactate-free yogurt or something, and that might be my breakfast after I train. And I said sometimes I might put a scoop of protein in it, and then I'll boil some eggs. So later on, I'll have 6 boiled eggs and something. So. Great little things you're doing, like I said, just having things around, sometimes nuts if you want to snack on something. And it's just a matter of, like I said, and lately too, I've been having a bowl of fruit with just pink lady apples and mandarins and that. So if I get a sweet tooth and I'm in the kitchen, whereas before I was grabbing chocolate, I just grab an apple now. So.
Well, once again, how nice is that with some yogurt on it?
Mm-hmm.
I break up some walnuts and
I like getting, sometimes I'll just get the yogurt and I'll buy a healthy type muesli
Yes.
and put that in the yogurt, then maybe put a bit of honey on that, but also put a bit of fruit on it.
Yeah.
And that's like a nice little meal sometimes. So there are things you can do. It's just like I said with the training, thinking of bodyweight exercises, it's just a matter of thinking what you can get with little things like that that are easy and don't take long to prepare, and you can just do them up. And like I said, even if you've got little containers like this at home and you are working and travelling, like I said, you could put yogurt up to here, put some fruit in there and granola and put a lid on it, and if you've got a cooler or that, you can carry that around, so if you get hungry. You can even, like I said, you get those yogurts now that are low fat, that are like, you know, the tubs, they're like a little tub like this, it's like 15 grams of protein in it.
But even, I get the full strength one, but I just have half of it.
Yeah.
And put the other half as fruit and, you know, nuts, or I'm big into me hemp seeds, like they're really good.
Ooh, hemp seeds. I like the ones you can get sometimes a little bit naughty, where you get them and one side might have fruit and nuts and chocolates, and you fold it over and mix it in and you stir it in. You ever seen those little ones where you mix it together? One's like a key lime pie flavour and another one's like a...
but those things, like...
Yeah, like that's your dessert though, if you've got to have something bad. When we're talking about... It's better than getting the Ben and Jerry's.
No, but I think like things like that, like you're better off just getting your normal yogurt, chopping up, because the pink lady apple, like that's so sweet, and don't you find like you would
even fresh pineapple or peaches, and
you would crave a chocolate, you wouldn't crave the yogurt and fruit, but once you have the yogurt and fruit, you go, oh geez, that was really
it's like
tasty.
me, I like fruit sometimes, and sometimes I'll buy a whole heap of like a big thing of grapes, and I put it in a bowl in the fridge, and I put like the grapes in there and stuff, because if it's there ready to eat, you eat it.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I leave the grapes in the packet, I've got to pick them off the thing. I'm like, oh. Like if it's already sitting there, it's easy just to grab a handful of grapes and eat it. So yeah, as long as you got it there on tap, ready to go, it's easy to do. And just like I said, it just comes down to thinking of things to have that are convenient and easy. And like I said, always good to have a few Tupperware containers so you can take stuff with you. That's like I said, when I travel, these are, even though I buy this, I could easily just put 1 minute oats in a container like this and do the same thing. So.
Yeah. No, that's convenient, and but yeah, I just think it's little things like that.
Even Weet-Bix, you can carry Weet-Bix in a container and add hot water to it and stuff like that. Or like I said, just yogurt's always a good one.
Another one I've been doing is I buy the half kilo or kilo bags of beef jerky.
Oh yeah.
But over here, like they're not like American ones where they'd be full of crap. Like they're just
full of preservatives.
Yeah, so try and get the best beef jerky you can. But I don't eat a heap of it. I just have like a little.
Carl, who does a photography, he makes his own beef jerky at home and that, so it's really healthy and stuff like that. And like I said, it's nice to chew. And I've had it before. There's a brand I get. It's like a low-fat one. It hasn't got much stuff on it. Because I've done it before. If I've been driving, when I drove to Queensland. Just have it in the car to chew on or something, because like I said, if you don't, it's too easy. I'll stop for petrol. Oh, there's McDonald's there as well. So if I got like I said, if I'm driving, I got like apples or banana there and things like that. It's easier to have, like I said, because if you get hungry and there's a McDonald's.
Well, don't you find, like I know when I go up your way, like you can have McDonald's, you're starving at the, it's
Twin
about
Servos.
an hour and a bit over an hour from Sydney. By the time you get to Newcastle, you can be hungry again. Like it just, I think that's the problem with that food. It just doesn't satisfy you, and it makes you crave more. And
satisfies while eating it, because you go, nice. But then, like you said, you're hungry later. No, you just gotta, just work it out what you got to do. Even like I said, even making a nice healthy sandwich, you can get like good bread that's not crazy. In fact, as I said, it's not always too. If you're only having a sandwich, it's not really the bread, it's not fattening. It's when you add the butter and you add everything else to it. But you can make yourself a nice salad sandwich, or get some like chicken breast and make a chicken breast sandwich with tomato and that on it. So there are things I always hate. Like even when I went to America and I diet for shows, you've had a craving to eat apples. People are like, oh my God, you're eating fruit. There's sugar in that. I'm like, the sugar in fruit's like totally different to eating raw sugar or having sugar in something. It's like it's a natural sugar. The amount of apples you'd have to eat to get fucking fat if you...
And you know what, I know I can relate to the fact, like I know it's hard with
kids
going out. And that's one thing, like with COVID, like I've actually enjoyed not going out, because I don't mind a beer. Don't mind a couple.
A chicken schnitzel.
No, well, that's what I was just going to say is, like, one thing I've done is, over the years, used to love, like, that chicken schnitzel with chips, like, that would be me go-to.
The thing is, too, sometimes you're like, I'll get the chicken schnitzel, and they bring a nice salad, with the tomato and beetroot and onion, and they bring you the chips, and you're like, oh, I won't eat them, because I'm going to be healthy. And then you have one chip, then you're like, oh, fuck it, I might as well eat them all.
Well, with all this thing about health, I reckon, like, they should ban, like, if they're worried about people's health, like, chips are one of the worst things, because how many times do you regret eating them? Like, if you go, like you say, I'm not going to eat it.
I'm not a chip person, but sometimes Rachel gets one, just have one.
No.
And I don't know if it's the chip or just the chicken salt on it. Then
yeah,
you're like,
the chicken.
then I keep having them, thinking I don't even want them. Just because they're there, I'll eat them. And that's not too. I say, if I go to a place and I tell people no chips and they accidentally bring them, I said I didn't want any. Oh, it's okay, just leave them. And then I fucking eat them. I think
Look, well, that's what I was going to say. I always try and avoid things with chips. And, like, I know, like, sometimes the vegetarian options, not that I'm a vegetarian, but they typically the things that don't have chips with them. So I'll get, like, a falafel wrap or something like that, just so I don't get chips. Or
have you noticed when you don't get something, like, say you get a burger, right? It's like even Rachel was saying the other day, got a Works burger. It comes with the bacon, egg, and everything. If you want extra bacon, it's like $1 or $2. So why is it then if I want a Works burger and I say I don't want the bacon, why do they still charge you the same price? Because you're taking stuff off it. So shouldn't the burger be cheaper? If it cost me $2 for an extra piece of bacon, and I tell you I don't want that bacon, shouldn't it be $2 cheaper then?
No, it's one of the great mysteries of the world. But no, it definitely, like, that's one thing with socialising. It's especially, I guess, in Australia where everyone drinks and
or you go somewhere and you just go to someone's place and you're like, I'll eat healthy, but they'll have nibblies on the table, and you're like, no, I won't have any. You have a couple, then you just seem to be hovering around the table for 3 hours picking at shit.
Yeah.
By the time you leave, you probably had 2,000 calories of peanuts, cashews, chips.
Well, the old cheese platter.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? You think I'll just have one piece of cheese and a Jats or something. Oh, I'll go back and get some cheese and cabanossi and a Jats. Oh, I'll go back and get another one. By the time you leave, you've had that much fucking cheese and...
Yeah. Oh, well, that's one of the great problems of the world. It's just overeating. Like, people...
I mean, half the time you're not eating because you want it, just because it's there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's like buffets. How many times have I been to buffets at a hotel and you're like, I'm comfortably full, but as you sit there, you're looking over and you're like, oh, I could probably get one more pastry. And then I'll go get one more. And then by the time you leave, you're like, oh, I feel like I just want to sleep now because you've had that much. Because then I want to get a bagel with the cream cheese on it. And then I think, I didn't have that pastry with the apple in, I'll get one of them. Then they have those little cakes, I'll get one of them. Or maybe I could get another sausage. It's like, that's half the time I won't get a buffet. If there's a buffet there, I'm like, no, I'll just order from the menu and just get some eggs and whatever. But
and then sneak up to the buffet anyway.
No, it's too tempting. It's too.
Yeah, no, you always get a bacon and eggs, toast and hash brown, big plate of that, and then once you finish that, it's like, the pastries
And if you're trying to be good, you look at it and you're like, no, I'm going to be good. I'm not getting it. I'm just going to get my wholemeal toast and maybe a bit of jam to put on it. That'll do me. And once you've eaten it, now you're looking back over, you're like, maybe I'll just...
Yeah.
If there's banana bread.
Well, maybe the thing you can say is before you go out, have a healthy meal, so then you're not
That's
as
the worst.
hungry.
If you go out hungry. Have you noticed the difference in your shopping cart when you go to the grocery store hungry? Oh, the amount of shit I put in there when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
But if I'm full, I'll be like, oh, do I want that? No, I don't want that. Do I want that? I don't want that. But if I'm hungry, I want it. Put it in. That looks good.
Well, so the answer is don't do drastic changes.
No.
Incremental changes.
Yeah, just
and
little
still
things.
have a bit of fun.
Even if you want salad dressing, just try go for a lower fat salad dressing or balsamic vinegar. Little things like that, just... You can still have it, don't go plain salad, no dressing. There's still just, like you said, it's just substituting things, one thing for another.
and experimenting, finding the things that work.
Exactly.